you're pretty smart, capable, and good at most of the things that you try. So why does it feel so bad when things don't go according to plan? It's not because you failed, it's because you're not very good at failing. Yet. Hi, my name is April. I'm a therapist in Canada. If you're interested in learning more about my therapy practice, you can check out my link to my website in the description down below. Failing is a fact of life, but if you're somebody who's generally always good at the things that you try, you're kind of at a disadvantage here. Other people will have had more practice at failing than you, and failing is an important part of the learning process, but also it's really an important way that we learn emotional regulation. So why is it so hard when something that you're doing just doesn't work? Expectation versus reality. And we're not just talking about Instagram or Pinterest fails here. We're talking about when your expectations to be good at something don't line up with the reality that you're probably going to need some time to learn something that is new to you. There's a quote, I think it's a Buddhist quote, that says, expectation is the source of all suffering. And essentially what they're getting at is that by having expectations, we're living in the future rather than the present moment. And we are attached to that potential future outcome that hasn't yet happened. So we're really disappointed when that expectation, that future that we've been living in our mind, doesn't actually come to fruition. It's really normal to not be good at things when you first start and try something out. It's not that you're bad at it, it's just that it's new to you. That discomfort that you might feel when things don't go the way that you expect it to, it's okay. It's something that we need to practice getting used to, and it's something that we all feel. I post new videos every 2 weeks on mindset and practical tools for high achievers to meet their goals. So if you find that interesting, please consider subscribing and like if you'd like to help other people find this video. I always think back to this silly memory of when my friends were having a party and there was this activity where it was like bad karaoke, and my friend asked if I was going to join, and I was like, no, I don't do things that I'm bad at. And I have no idea where that came from. I've never said that before. That was never like a motto in my life, but I was like, yes, I don't do things I'm bad at because I'm good at a lot of things, so why would I waste my time doing things that I'm bad at? And it's been years and I still think about that and I'm like, wow, that was a weird thing to think and say and is very wrong compared to what I believe now. Now I've learned to start leaning into things that I'm not very good at because I realized that how else are you supposed to learn? The reality is that not being good at something can challenge our identity. It's not just about the thing or the task. It means that when we're so used to being competent, we almost have to rethink that quality about ourselves and who we are. And so struggling with something new can feel like a threat to who we are because it doesn't align with our vision of ourselves. And there's this internal struggle that you might experience where, in my case, I decided I'm just not going to do that thing because I had to confront this other version of myself, almost other than what I know about myself, other than how I like to see myself. And I wasn't prepared to confront that version of myself who wasn't going to be good at singing bad karaoke. The whole goal was to sing bad karaoke. Like, this story is so silly. But perfect example, low stakes, nothing to lose here. And yet I wasn't ready to rearrange my mind to make room for that new concept, that new version of myself that I wasn't ready to meet yet. If you're used to being really good at things, maybe you're a high achiever or you're really competent, then you might be somebody who sticks to doing those things that you do well. And by all means, that's a really good strategy in life to invest in the areas where you have strengths. But then we forget what it's like to be a beginner. Sometimes starting something fresh and being the new kid on the block or the new person to pick up the guitar in the guitar class as an adult or press play on that tutorial or whatever it is can be an act of bravery and take courage because it's actually difficult just to be a beginner again. I think about sometimes in my life when I've been the expert in every room that I'm in, and I've got to say that's not very common, but I'm making a point here. When at work, I've been the team lead, for example, and I'm a therapist, so I'm supporting people to talk through issues in their lives, and I'm expected to be the guide there for that and use my knowledge and skills to guide that conversation. And maybe at home, I'm the person that's good at cooking or cleaning or taking care of the animals. And so I've found that it can actually be quite tiring. And I've met other people like this too, where you're good at those things and it's nice to do things that you're good at, but it becomes tiring to have to be the one whose shoulders everything falls on at the end of the day, at the end of the project, at the end of the task. You're the last line of defense almost. And so it's a lot of responsibility, even though you're capable and able to do it. In those times in my life, I've recognized, oh wow, I think that I need some balance where there's low stakes. That might be a time when I take on a new project or something new because I've mastered the things that I'm already doing, and it can be a lot of responsibility, but it also can be a little bit boring when you're just repeatedly doing things that you're already good at. There's no new levels to beat anymore. In contrast, I went back to grad school in my late 20s, and I started a new job shortly thereafter, and I found that I was a beginner in all these places in my life, and I needed an area where I was an expert and where I was really good at things. And so I was able to balance that out and go back to doing artwork and things that I'm naturally good at that have always come naturally to me, that don't come with that discomfort of being a beginner. And so it's not that it's bad to be an expert or master something, and it's not bad to invest in your strengths, nor is it bad to be a beginner, but it can require some balance, and it can require some bravery to go back to the beginning of a new skill or a new task or a new project. Of course, there's always perfectionism. I can't talk about this without talking about how perfectionism can make it difficult to want to even engage in the messiness of trying. I think a lot of people are surprised by the fact that procrastination can be a sign of perfectionism, because you'd think of perfectionists, oftentimes we think of as highly successful and motivated and driven kind of people. But a lot of times perfectionism can lead to not even getting something started, because the idea of starting and struggling or starting and failing is so stressful that it is easier to just avoid starting at all. Perfectionism is actually a symptom of anxiety, and so if we can address that underlying anxiety, then the perfectionism and the anxiety that we're feeling about things not going perfectly can be addressed, and we are able to do the brave thing and not be good at something and practice being the beginner at something.